Hello everyone, welcome to Gosport Railworks. My name is James and today we're doing another locomotive review. This time we're looking at the Farish 2MT tender engine. And just let you know that I am actually recording this slightly differently than normal. In fact, I'm using a webcam instead of my usual camera because this actually just saves me time. But anyway, onto the review, which is the 2MT 260 tender loco. So let's have a quick look at the product code. Hopefully it's all in focus because it did take me a little while to set up. It is a 372627 Ivatt class 2MT 260 with running number 6404 in LMS black, and it is DCC 6 compatible. And what do we get in the box? Well, we get the usual warranty and all that lot, which we don't read, so that can live there. We have the product information sheet, which has the exploded diagram, which is always nice to have a look at. Do take note of this screw because it is important in a minute. Tells you, and on the other side tells you about how to run it in and also how to look after it. Running in is 1 hour each way, though 30 minutes will do if you're strapped for time. Curves, it is more comfortable on second radius, but it will run round on first. Body removal, this is where the screw comes in. If you remove the screw, it basically removes the body. And the screw in particular is one of the awkward ones hidden behind, there we go, that one just behind the front pony truck. Bit awkward to get to, but that removes the body. And what is it, diddly-do? For lubrication, it's basically, if it moves, lubricate that bit. DCC fitting is basically removing the tender body and then popping in a DCC 6 chip. And also it does list out all the add-on parts, which is in this bag. It does look like it's mostly steps and piping and stuff like that. And also this weird thing, which I'm not entirely sure, it looks like a different roof of something. I think it might be for is it tender? I'm not entirely sure. Somebody please tell me. But that's the bits. That's all the extra bits which get inside the box. And let's have a look at how much this weighs. So let's load it up. Take that off. Pop this on here. And carefully lift it up. It is 42.4 grams. Let's just round it up to 42.5 grams. So that's just over 1.5. I think that's about 1.5. Possibly about 1.5 Mark 1 coats, because a Mark 1 coats is 25 grams. So yeah, that is about 1.5 coats. So it's a decent weight for the size of a locomotive. And yeah, it's quite nice in my opinion. It does come in 3 varieties of liveries. We've got the LMS black, which is what we've got here. Let me just turn up that light a little bit. There we go. So this is LMS black, which is a plain black with just all the usual lettering. You can get it in BR black, which is basically the same, but with all the extra lining, which is in BR colours, which they added to their mixed goods, mixed traffic locos. And also BR green, which is the same as BR black, but with green instead of black. And yeah, they all look rather nice. But I decided to get a LMS black one because I needed more just in LMS colours. But let's have a quick look at the details here. The printing, while very sparse, we do have it is picked out very nice and tidy. I can't see any blemishes or anything like that. So where it is, it does look tidy in my opinion. Also sorry about the focus, unfortunately the webcam's autofocus keeps going over here somewhere, so I've had to set it myself. But yeah, the printing does look quite nice and tidy. It does have riveting everywhere, so it does have a very nice effect. Also feels nice in my opinion, but I'm weird like that. The front does have the running number and also the shed number, and the buffer does have riveting as well, and also the vacuum piping, and same with the rear one. Underneath there's not really much, which is not all that much of a bother because it's N-gauge and it's too small to see. The valve gear, looks slightly blackened, but it does have a metallic sheen, so it may be a bother to some people, but it doesn't bother me too much. And it is nicely detailed and it looks quite functional. Obviously there's the big nut there, but we can't have everything really, so it does have NEM pockets either end, so if you want to change the couplings, do feel free to change them. The coal, while it is plasticky, it doesn't look too bad, but I'm assuming you can remove it and fill in your own coal if you want to. The safety valves and also the whistle, they do seem like they're metal. They do feel quite hard and sharp, so it does look like they are made out of metal, so that's quite nice. On the back here, like I said, we have more vacuum piping and the riveting on the buffer, but there's also this nice little ladder here which looks like it's separately fitted, and more handrails, and all the handrails look quite nice. No damage to this one, which I'm quite lucky. It does have glazing on the cab. On the inside of the cab, which is a bit difficult to see because it is a very enclosed cab, there is detail. Let me just make sure that light is all the way up. All the light. And you can just about see there is interior detail, but unfortunately it's not painted from what it looks like. But it does have detail on the other side as well. So that's quite nice. But yeah, I'm quite happy with it. But yeah, there's also a nice little pipe going along the bottom there. So yeah, I'm going to stick this onto the turntable so you can have a nicer, closer look, and hopefully I can get the webcam to work properly. And yeah, then I can tell you a bit more about the prototype, and then we can get it onto the layout and we can see how it runs. So I'll see you in a bit. The London, Midland and Scottish Railway Ivatt Class 2-260 is a class of steam locomotive designed for light mixed traffic. The elderly 060s formed the backbone of the low-powered locomotives within the LMS fleet. William Stanier had concentrated on introducing larger engines, and it was left to George Ivatt to introduce a new class of low-powered locomotives. He designed a tender version of the Ivatt Class 2-262 Tenkensen introduced at the same time, which inspired by the Stanier Class 3-262 Tenkensen, which was inspired by the Fowler Class 3-262 Tenkensen. The 260s had greater range with 3,000 imperial gallons of water and 4 long tons of coal, compared to the tank designs 1,350 gallons and 3 tons of coal. So they were well suited to their task, and following attention to routing problems by both Derby and Swindon quickly became a success. Further designs of this type were built as the BR Standard Class 2-260. These locomotives having standard BR fittings and a modified cab and tender profile to allow completely unrestricted route availability. Both LMS and BR Moguls were often nicknamed Mickey Mouse. A total of 128 were built between 1946 and 1953, mostly at Crewe. 20 were built by the LMS and given the numbers 6400 to 6419. The class was withdrawn between 1961 and 1967. 7 members of the class have been preserved and 6 have run in preservation. 3 of them were purchased from British Railways, while the other 4 preserved examples were rescued from Barry Scrapyard throughout the 1970s. The remainder of the class have been scrapped. Right, here we are, the Ivatt 2MT now on the layout, and yeah, it's looking rather nice. I do have to mention I have swapped it back to DC at the moment because the DCC chip I had in it was a bad one, so it wasn't as responsive as hoped. So just to let you know. But yeah, let's have a quick look at the slow speed. Rather nice. I have had to have a look around for how much these cost, and don't know why I've got too much there, but sorry. But yeah, these cost roughly about probably about 110, 120, depending on how well you can find them. I have actually found some for about just under 100, so if you quickly find them, you can probably get yourself a bargain. But yeah, it's a rather nice little runner. Ooh, that's the wrong way. Very smooth. And not all that loud. It's only when you get it to a decent speed where it comes a bit louder, but not as much as a DAP locomotive. So let's give it a run round layout. Coming around, there it is. Yeah, seems quite nice. So let's see how much it can pull. So let me just quickly pop it onto the outside track. Also, I do have to mention that my inside track is actually below radius 2, and yeah, as you can see, it didn't really have any issues with it. So let's just get these. Actually, let's see if we can couple it up by itself. So let's move that forward and get it on a nice straight. This is my usual test rake of 8 Mark 1 coaches, which is about 200 grams, which is that's twice the weight, 4 times, it's probably about 5 times the weight of the Ivatt here. So let's see if we can couple up by itself. Let's see if we can do it with a bit more force. There we go. Everything works better with force. And it has no issues pulling 200 grams. I will have a look at the drive wheels in a moment when it comes back around, see if it actually has got traction tyres, which I've got to check. A little bit of slow down there, maybe. There you go. This is probably the absolute most it can pull. I think this does have traction tyres. I remember seeing you can buy traction tyres as spare, so let's have a quick look. Ooh, get off. Yes, it does have traction tyres on the rear drive wheel, so yes. Let's see if we can get this back on without making a mess. So it does have traction tyres, which isn't that unusual considering the size and weight, and but this is N-gauge, so I'm not doing well with that coupling, am I? There we go. Trying to do this all with one hand is not all that easy. Let's make sure it's... So yeah, it does have traction tyres, but it's quite typical for this gauge. So it's something to be concerned about if you need to change it later on, but shouldn't be too much of a problem. But yeah, for £110 or £120, it's not too bad. Just don't do what I did, was paid a bit more because I got it off eBay and when they're very sparse in getting. But yes, I won't mention the price. But yeah, it's a nice little runner, and it does have a got, I'd say it's a decent range of usage. You can either use it as a late LMS loco or a very reliable BR era loco, because it does have two very nice BR liveries. So yeah, do let me know what you think of the LMS Ivatt 2MT. So yeah, I'm just going to send it off in its way. So if you like the video, feel free to like, comment and subscribe. And if you didn't like the video, feel free to, well, hope you enjoy your day anyway. So I'm getting all my things mixed up, because normally I say if you really want to, if you really like what I do feel free to support me on Patreon. And if you didn't like the video, hope you enjoy your day. So yeah, take care now, and see you again next time. Bye bye.